Hey y'all, Casey here. I've had a lot of jobs in my life. My first job was, I think I was either 15 or 16, and I was working at Hallmark. I've worked the majority of my life in food service. I've had a lot of different career aspirations. Despite how long that list of career aspirations is, being a lawyer was almost never on there. And that was despite the fact that so many people around me were telling me I should be a lawyer. The reason why I never considered being a lawyer was because when I thought of lawyers, I thought of rich fat cats who were just trying to make money at the expense of others. I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to be when I grew up. However, I did know I wanted to help people. What that translated to for me as a teenager was being an activist. I got involved in political activism at a pretty young age. I was actually lucky enough to get a paid political organizing job. That didn't last, though. It became obvious to me that it was not going to be a sustainable career choice one day when I was out canvassing and I almost punched an old lady in the face. I didn't punch her, but I really wanted to, and I felt like that probably wasn't a good sign. After that, I went back to working in kitchens and reassessed. During that time, I did some political organizing, but it just wasn't the center of my life anymore. As it so happened, during that time, I met a lawyer who was working with one of the groups I was involved in. He was using his lawyer powers, as I saw it then, to help us, to better the world. I got to talk with him and figure out that you can be a lawyer and do good. These are not mutually exclusive. Once I got that idea in my brain, I started thinking about becoming a lawyer. Shortly thereafter, I decided that was the career for me. I'm a very goal-oriented person, so once I made up my mind about the fact that I was going to be a lawyer, I moved completely across the country, from North Carolina to Portland, and went to law school. I had never been to Portland before, let alone lived there. Law school is brutal. Law school is essentially a 3-year-long endurance test, even in the best of times. I would not recommend it to anyone unless they are 100% sure that they want to be a lawyer. Law school was an immensely humbling experience for me because for the first time in my life, I was surrounded by people who were either as smart as me or smarter. The competition in law school is intense, and that's because the whole system is built on curved grading. Curved grading is where your grades depend on how you do in comparison to your classmates. I chose a school that had more of a teamwork mindset, but still, it was based on curved grading, so no matter how much you help each other out, at the end of the day, when you take that test, your grade is still going to be based on your classmates' grades. As if law school isn't hard enough already. Halfway through my first year of law school, I figured out that I was trans. I ended up transitioning in law school, and it did not go smoothly. I was terrified that being trans meant I couldn't be a lawyer. I was terrified that clients wouldn't want to work with me and no one would hire me. I didn't know of any trans lawyers. I had no one to look up to. I didn't know of any people like me who had walked this path before. Maybe I'll get more into the specifics of the challenges I faced while I was in law school, but for now, let's just say that it added an unnecessarily difficult level to an already extraordinarily difficult task, which was making it through law school. Luckily, my worst fears never came true. I did get hired. More than that, I got multiple job offers from different places right out of law school. I now have my dream job, which is being a public defender, shaping policy, and moving the court system closer and closer to a more restorative model. Like I said, I didn't have anyone to look up to. I didn't know any trans professionals, and certainly no trans lawyers. I had to blaze my own trail, and it was rough. My hope is that younger trans folks see this video, and maybe then they won't have to feel so alone. Maybe then they won't feel like they have to fight and hustle their way through unconquered territory. Just because you're trans does not mean that your life has to be limited. Get out there and get it, sis. It might not all be gumdrops and rainbows, but it's not going to get any better unless some of us do something about it. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you got something out of this video, please click that like button and subscribe. Until next time.